How my gargoyle sparked a neighborhood Christmas war. I have this gargoyle statue in my front yard named Frank. He's been there for years, just a little stone guy minding his own business. A few weeks ago, I found a note in my mailbox. It said the statue was inappropriate for the Christmas season and should be removed. At first, I thought it was a joke. Frank isn't spooky or anything, so I decided to lean into the Christmas spirit and make him festive. I gave him a Santa hat and some lights. He looked great, like a gargoyle who'd really embraced the holidays. The next day, there's another note in my mailbox. This one said, "This is not funny. Some of us are trying to keep the Christmas spirit alive." At this point, I realized someone was actually upset about it, which honestly made it funnier. So, instead of taking Frank down, I doubled down. I added a red scarf, put a wreath in his hands, and placed a plastic reindeer next to him. I even started referring to the setup as Frank's Holiday Corner. It was festive, harmless, and made me laugh every time I looked outside. Then another note arrived. This time it said Frank was offensive and an eyesore. Offensive? A stone gargoyle in a Santa hat? Now it felt like a personal challenge. So, I stepped it up. I set up a mini Christmas tree next to Frank and decorated it with ornaments and tinsel. That's when the person behind the notes showed up. I was home when this woman stormed up to my yard. She pointed at Frank and yelled, "This has to stop!" I told her that Frank wasn't going anywhere, especially since he was such a gentleman. She didn't appreciate my humor and started ranting about how I was ruining the neighborhood and being disrespectful to Christmas traditions. She eventually stormed off, and I haven't heard anything else since. Frank is still standing proudly in his Santa hat, scarf, and lights, with his reindeer and Christmas tree by his side. My friends think it's the funniest thing ever, and honestly, every time I look outside, I feel like Frank won.